Thanks so much for joining us and for your interest in our story. A lot of you guys have probably seen the journey that Angie and I have been on, along with a lot of other people. We called it the Extreme Accountability Challenge. And for a little history on it, last year this time, did you think we'd be sitting here 192 pounds lighter?
No, absolutely not.
No, me neither. I'm 56. Angie's much younger, as you can tell. But I had been so frustrated with my weight for so many years. I'd tried just dozens and dozens of diets. How many books did we throw away when we moved from South Carolina down here?
About 30 different
About 30 books. We just got tired of reading them. They weren't working, and it really wasn't. The problem wasn't the books for the most part. It was me. But in March something happened. I knew I was in about the 290s. I'm 5'11", and around the first part of March, I got on the scales thinking I was going to see about 298, 299, and I weighed 304. And most people nowadays, if they see a disaster, they pull their cell phones out and they snap a picture, and that's what I did. I took a picture of those scales at 304, and it really affected me. And I started, I started cutting back. You were making what? Your 10,000th grilled chicken breast for me.
Yes.
Angie always supported me in every diet. She never nagged me about my weight, but she supported me always. But what happened this time though was that it really got under my skin, the amount of weight that I'd gained. And we were at a convention, a company convention of the insurance organization that I'm working with, and some friends of ours were taking pictures, and we had a picture taken of us all dressed up. Angie was dressed up, looked beautiful. I was in my best fitting big suit, and we got a copy of that picture around March 11th. And it was an eye-opener for me, because while I'd seen myself in the mirror 1,000 times and I've seen pictures of me, it never hit me that how much I looked like a 304-pound man. In fact, I thought I looked like about 354 pounds. And it just really affected me. So we were involved in a business coaching program that was done online the week after that. And Angie and I were participating together. She let me have the individual coaching time though. And my coach for that week, a gentleman by the name of Yo Kim, he asked me about, on our third short session, he said, "What do you think's holding you back in business?" And this is all about business, all about improving, the situation I was in. And I said, "My weight." He said, "Well, why is that?" And I said, "Well, I weigh 304 pounds. I'm down to about 298 now. And I've got to do something about it, because I think it's going to hold me back. I don't think I'll live long enough to achieve the kind of success that we want to achieve." And he said, "Well, have you got any ideas?" I said, "Well, I know exactly what I will do nutritionally, but I need some accountability." And he said, "What, have you thought of anything for that accountability?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "But it's pretty crazy." I said, "I thought if I posted my scales to Facebook every day that I would be able to get the weight off, that it would be something that would hold me accountable." And he said, "Well, do it." And I said, "Like now?" I said, "I thought I'd do it next week, maybe lose a couple more pounds." I was down 6 pounds, big deal. And he said, "No, do it now." And he kept saying it over and over. And so I did. I put a post up on Facebook. It was really a cry for help, that I was going to lose down to 175 pounds by November 22nd of 2017. This was March 15th. And I didn't ask Angie. And so tell everybody what your...
Well, when you informed me of what you had just done, I was flabbergasted because I just could not believe you would post that for the entire Facebook world to see. But you did. And I knew what that meant. That meant that sooner or later, I would probably have to do the same. So about 4 days later, I also posted my scales, and I had not weighed in years, and I actually, just in the last 6 months, had actually gained a good bit of weight from trying a weight loss plan, believe it or not. After Christmas, I gained about 12 pounds from a plan. So
that was our normal situation.
was
We gained.
normal. I was mortified when I did weigh and see that I weighed 188 pounds. I had not weighed that, but when I was pregnant with my firstborn, and he was a 10-pound baby. So I posted that as embarrassing and frightening and just scary as it was, to be supportive, not just of Alan, but also because I knew I needed that accountability. So what that meant for us was any occasion, we served cake, we had whatever, and we stayed on our plan.
Well, and what was interesting is we both were like the emperor with no clothes. I mean, people knew that we had gained weight. Angie, not so much as me, but I know she wouldn't wait for the nurses at the doctor's office. She would get in a little power struggle with the nurses. She didn't wait for anybody, and so she was surprised that I could guess her weight. I guessed her weight within 2 pounds, and really what it was about us being accountable and giving some other people some hope, but along the way, this whole process really was possible because I had certainty that Angie and I could lose weight using a program that a friend of mine, John Davidson, had used over 10 years before. And he lost 65 pounds in about 4.5 months, and he's kept it off ever since. And when I did my calculation for my weight loss time, I based it upon what John's experience was. And that program is called Optavia. And that's what we've used, and that's what really we're really here to talk to you about. What's been so interesting is that when we started on the program, it was about sticking to something 100%, and to make sure it was nutritionally sound, and make sure it was natural, and make sure that we wouldn't have health problems, and make sure that we would develop new habits and the full package. And so after watching my friend John lose his weight and keep it off, I mean, I just had certainty. Now the company says, what is it? The company says the average weight loss is what?
About 20 pounds.
So average weight loss is 20 pounds. So there's no guarantees in anything. And we've had friends get on the program that only needed to lose 15, 16 pounds, and they lost it. And I know there's people that probably haven't had success with any program, but I can tell you from our experience, and one person's experience really is not subject to somebody else's opinion. And so our experience has been that we were able to develop new habits that we have been able to stick to. Since reaching our weight loss goals, Angie reached her weight loss goal in 192 days. I reached mine in, I originally set out to do it in 253 days, and I did it in 248 days, interestingly. Reached it on November 18th, or 17th, I think it was. Anyway, but it was because we had a plan that was simple, and it was predictable. And for those of you that are watching this, what's so interesting about all this is Angie didn't have a belief level like I did in the very beginning, and tell everybody what you tried to begin with, because she didn't start with Optavia, just so you guys know.
No, about the first month I did it my way, which was cutting carbs, intake, that sort of thing. But I hit a wall, lost about 8 pounds, and hit a wall, and was still eating the healthy way. And here Alan is every day losing.
Well, every week, not every day.
But,
some days you go up, down, whatever.
But you were steadily losing, and you asked me why was I not doing Optavia, and I said, well, look, I just didn't want to spend the money. I could go to the grocery store and buy all my veggies and whatnot, and still lose. But the fact was I was not. And so he reminded me that I was still buying food. I just wasn't being successful with what I was buying, even though it was healthy. So I started the next day, and there again started losing weight right away, and continued to lose the weight, like Alan said, in a timely, safe fashion, though. And the great thing about the program is that there was no desire for or longing for certain food groups, because the products that are available are something for everyone, whether you have a sweet tooth or like chips or macaroni or blueberry muffins, or something, many products that would fit that void that people feel like they're missing out on when they're on a diet, if you will.
And one of the pieces too, when you think about cost, we have a tendency. I know Angie was thinking, well, it's going to cost money. Well, yeah, sure, it costs money, but she was spending money at the grocery store. We've actually saved money. With the Optavia program, we use the 5-in-1 program, which is 5 fuelings, and then one meal that we prepare that's a protein plus vegetables. And it was simple. It was predictable, it was affordable, and then we were able to incorporate new habits into our life that we didn't have before. We didn't try to exercise our weight off. And really we didn't start much exercise until after we were well into the program. And what did we do this morning? 3.4 miles this morning, because we wanted to. And we developed new habits. We don't eat the same foods we ate before. We don't miss them. And it's not that we don't occasionally have a treat or something like that, but we're able to get back right on the program if there's a spike up and get control. And it's really something like we've never experienced before. And if you're watching this and you've got some interest in our program, put your email address in below. And if you want more information, go to the next step and send us your cell phone number and your name. You don't have to do that, but if you want to check it out, we'd be glad to work with you. What's so funny about the whole thing is Angie became a coach. When did you get certified?
About 2 months ago.
She's certified as an Optavia coach, and there's no guarantees here for anybody. But what I can guarantee you is that if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. So take some time, fill in the information below. We'd love to have a chat with you. Angie and I work with you personally. And you guys, thank you so much for listening to us. And if there's any way we can help you, we'd love to. And check us out at postmypath.com, postmypath.com. And always remember to press post as you press forward.